Governor Rick Snyder signs a bill that will keep 300 well-paying jobs in Shiawassee County. Updates tonight on the war on terror.
And I was sitting right here at my desk when I heard about the attacks. I had just done a story with Marie, knew she was in Paris. She'd sent me this picture, so I texted her to see if she was okay.
Rain showers had people running from store to store today. 40 years, same show. What keeps you coming back?
All right, we need to raise some money, and we need you to come down and help us.
In the wake of Flint's water woes, a state of emergency being declared by Governor Rick Snyder.
In the forefront right now in Michigan, certainly the Flint water crisis. I know you just met with Mayor Karen Weaver. How are you going to work with her to move things forward?
One thing that is going to change, the governor said in that one-on-one, I might release my emails, and then he said in his State of the State, I will release my emails, but he did not extend that to other government officials. What does that say for transparency? Welcome back. Well, look at that finally tonight. Imagine enjoying a nice picnic. Here's the scene. You got to picture this. And this little guy shows up. He's like, hey, I want some food. That's what happened to a Florida couple and a friend. I'd want to be like, see you later, alligator.
There you go.
Okay, let's get back to the music. Our opening selection tonight, Joy to the World. We're going to take you back in time to the 1940s when the majority of the world's nations were at war.
Ditto on the yuck.
Yuck.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
And if she wins in 2016, she'll blaze a whole new trail.
It's like early Christmas. So that's why we have the tree back here.
We got to play against the new staff.
Speaking of that new staff, you can see there our own Sadie Hughes and Miranda Parnell were also on the court, members of the Fox 66 and NBC 25 news team. And in addition to that basketball tournament, there was another way kids.
We begin tonight with breaking news from San Bernardino, California. That's where at least 14 people have been killed and 14 others injured in a mass shooting. NBC 25's Kyle Mitchell is live in the newsroom with his reaction to what took place. Kyle. Researchers at the forefront of Flint's water woes say history is repeating itself. It was a decade ago when Washington, D.C. saw high lead levels in their drinking water. Now, as NBC 25's Stephanie Parkinson tells us, activists in Flint are hoping we can learn from that and have a different outcome in the vehicle city. We have a mix of rain and snow coming our way, but as meteorologist Ahmed Badji tells us, it may not be around for very long. Hi, Ahmed. And today in Flint, Michigan, business leaders met to discuss climate change at Kettering University. A disturbing murder in Detroit is all caught on cell phone video. Next, find out why the witness was recording when the deadly shots were fired. And we're taking a live look right now. We have new information out of California at this hour where authorities are searching for up to 3 suspects in connection with a mass shooting in San Bernardino. We have heard there has been a police chase since the mass shooting in San Bernardino. They have been looking for a black SUV. We do not know if this is connected, but we are hearing that possibly 2 suspects have been shot. Now we hear that one person is shot inside the vehicle, another person shot outside the vehicle. The hostage situation at a concert hall in the city is over after dozens were held against their will. Investigators are not sure at this time what sparked the attacks, but do believe they are connected. And tonight I have been in constant contact with a mid-Michigan woman I know that landed with her husband in Paris earlier this week for their very first trip to the country. You told me you were on a tour of the city of all things when that happened. Right now we're seeing a map, just so viewers know, that shows how close you were to the theater where your hotel is right now, just a little less than 4 miles. But I want to take them back to when I text you. You had just been dropped off from a tour. Tell me about that. They didn't tell you anything.
No, they didn't.
You told me you spoke with the U.S. Embassy tonight. What were you able to learn from them? Now, I think about this situation. You're in a hotel, obviously probably people from a lot of different countries there, other Americans. Have you been able to speak to anybody, or are you just staying in your room right now? Thank you for joining us. I want to note to our viewers, it's about 4:30 in the morning there. You stayed up to talk to us. We appreciate it, and we wish you very safe travels home.
Thank you, Sadie.
Life changes so quickly, and certainly this is a developing situation. Things just keep changing with new information coming in. We will be covering the story throughout the evening.
God took care of us. We were very lucky.
A Clio, Michigan couple just miles from the horrors unfolding in France shares their story exclusively tonight on Fox 66 News at 10.
It was a trip they planned back in May, a chance to see France for the very first time.
But when Kirk and Marie Heath began their weekend trip, they could have never predicted how their pictures would change or the story their lens would tell. These are their images, and this is their story. You'll only see it on Fox 66 News.
The images came alive for Marie and Kirk Heath.
You read about these things, but you never dreamed you'd be there.
But there it was, the Eiffel Tower, Paris, France, Champs-Élysées, a boat ride on the Seine, and then back on the bus for a night lights tour 2 days into their 4-day adventure.
We noticed that there were just all sorts of police cars.
And I was sitting right here at my desk when I heard about the attacks. I had just done a story with Marie, knew she was in Paris. She'd sent me this picture, so I texted her to see if she was okay.
I think I texted you right back. What is going on?
The tour had stopped early without telling them why. At that point, they walked home in the dark.
It was almost surreal, though, because there were all sorts of people still out on the streets.
Dropped off just 2 miles from events unfolding at the Bataclan Theater.
So it was pretty unnerving.
When they returned to their hotel,
I think that's when it really kind of settled into us, so how scary it was.
Marie took this video of the quiet in the hours that followed, waiting in their hotel.
It's just sad that those families will be torn apart forever now.
As the sun rose, 129 lives lost, hundreds injured, and the streets changed, the crowds gone.
That is always concerning when you see folks with rifles on a sidewalk.
Images they cannot forget, just like the people who died in 6 separate terror attacks.
You would hope that they don't die in vain.
Exactly.
The trip home to Clio,
Just relief.
meaning everything to the Heaths.
God took care of us. We were very lucky.
Safe at home.
Dave, certainly a difficult experience for the Heaths, but I think when these things happen, you realize how much you're loved, and they said they were just touched by how many people reached out to them, texted them, and checked on them.
Now, are they afraid to go back, or do they want to go back? What are they saying about that?
You know, the main goal for Kirk was to go to Normandy, and of course that was Saturday, and that didn't end up happening. He says, no, we're going to go back. We're not going to let the terrorists win, and we will travel. So they're determined.
Oh, good story, Sadie.
All right, thanks, Dave.
The Nutcracker.
It's a beautiful score. Tchaikovsky wrote beautiful music.
Music well played by Ellen Sudia Kudron. She hasn't missed a Flint Institute of Music production of the show ever.
40 years, same show. What keeps you coming back?
It wouldn't be Christmas without it.
While Ellen has been playing in the pit for 4 decades, another person has been pulling the ropes from behind the scenes for all that time as well.
All right, slow. Stand by to focus.
Ken Harris, the Whiting's house electrician, runs the electric crew. Like Ellen, he hasn't missed a Nutcracker.
Best job on earth, I think.
We couldn't possibly put on a production without Ken or any of the other stagehands.
He grew up here.
When we started off, I helped build this show when I was 18.
40 years of memories.
I got to have fun at work.
Fun that for both comes back to the love of a show. Illuminating their craft, cracking open.
Pretty good there.
The heart of the season.
Next.
Nothing is ever certain, but in my heart of hearts, music will always be there.
Haven't met 2 people so passionate about their jobs.
I know them both, and they are very passionate.
Oh, just wonderful people, and they were so delighted to share what they do. They love that show. They love what they do.
You are not forgotten, my brothers.
A promise.
It's sacred ground. Very sacred ground.
Made at Genesee County's Bluebell Beach.
You have some emotional moments around here.
By a man who's honored that commitment his entire life.
I had a father who was a World War II veteran, and he taught us patriotism from the time we were little tots.
Michael Bowen, a Vietnam War-era veteran.
The memorial says it all.
Reflects with gratitude here.
By the time I got home, I realized that I'd lost 6 or 7 high school friends and a couple of guys I served with at Fort Knox.
During his first visit to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C., a mother's search for her son's name on the wall inspired him to run a mile for every man missing in action. Then the idea got legs.
Got acclimated to running and just decided I might as well run a mile for each name on the wall.
33 years later, he's ran for them all. 58,282 miles.
Very dedicated. He gets up in the morning and he's gone.
More than 40 years after marrying Mike, his wife, like his flag, never leaves his side.
Just carry this. It's like, these are my guys, you know.
He's been my hero my whole life, so, and I know that he's a hero to a lot of people too.
P-O-W-M-I-A, bring my brothers home today.
Chants and songs keep him running, even through cancer, chemo, and now remission.
God bless America, my home, sweet home.
The flagman's tattered flag, witness to it all.
The Vietnam War many people would like it to be forgotten, and it's not going to happen, not on my watch.
Bowen keeping his promise.
I got him. I got him.
Running to remember.
Never forget.